We are getting ready for the Thanksgiving holiday.
Yes.
So
some people stuff their turkeys with dressing. Some people just make it on the side.
the cornbread stuffing is something I like it. I like the taste of it. I like the flavor of it.
So one of the things, to think about when you make it, always cater it to how your family likes it. Put the spices in it you like, make the cornbread the way you like, and then dress it up, and that'll make it taste more to your liking.
Hi everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. We are preparing a Thanksgiving side, I guess you can call it.
Or dressing.
But why do they call it dressing though? What?
Because it's part of the dressing for the turkey.
Okay, but we're going. So we're
dress
going
that turkey up with.
Yes, and so we just get prepared for the holidays coming up to Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we wanted to have a lot more meals catered around. Centered around Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, definitely. I think leading up to the holidays, we'll try to make one and keep adding them up. And then once the holidays are over, we'll take all of the leftovers and make some fun things with it as well. All of the drama we had in 2020 when I started cooking this, and I could smell those, that sage and the, just that Thanksgiving smell of home-cooked food in the air start making me think of the holidays, lets us know, hey, the year is coming to an end. We're getting ready to go into that 2021.
Now, babe, this is not my thing. So
yeah, there's a lot of stuff here, but we're going to talk about all of it as we're going through. All right, so before we make our cornbread dressing, we want to put our stock on because we want to have a good stock. The stock is what we're going to put on the cornbread mixture to give it, a lot more flavor. That's going to give it that moistness as well. So we don't want a stock that's not been cooking for a long time. We're going to make the stock here now, but think about it. You could make a lot of stock in advance, have it in the fridge, freeze it, it'll last for a long time. You always want to have a good chicken stock or, even turkey stock or beef stock because they're the basis for a lot of meals. So always have some good stock readily available when you're chopping, onions, carrots, celery, or have some leftover chicken parts. When you trim it, use it to save it, freeze it, and make a stock with it instead of wasting it and running out to the store and having to buy some chicken stock.
So for this stock, you made your own stock or you use the store?
I have both, so I'm going to show people how to make it in a quick hurry with some college and chicken stock, and I did use the lower sodium one.
Okay.
And because I'm putting meat in there, it's kind of like a dual lesson. So you'll have chicken stock, well, we're going to use turkey necks. We're going to put turkey necks in there. If we had a long time and we put that on, we would put that on in the morning before we started making our Thanksgiving Day dinner. So when I make stock, I like to make a whole lot of it with my, the stuff that's in that bag inside the turkey. You got the giblets, the turkey tail, you have the neck. All of that is perfect for making stock. And you want to let that cook all day long, and as much as possible, because you're going to use it for your gravy and you're going to use it for, you can use it for your stock, for your stuff, and you can use that stock to season your vegetables instead of putting a whole lot of, salt and things like that in your vegetables. You can put the broth in there, and that's going to give it a good flavor. I actually, when I make collard greens, I use my chicken broth. I use stock instead of using a lot of salt and things like that.
Good to know. So where we got going? Where do we start?
So let's get the stock on first. That's what I think.
Okay, so and we had these. Is this what you're using for your stock?
Yep.
What is this? Jesus.
All right. So I'll let you get it. So we got some.
Ooh, that looks.
Turkey necks here actually.
Now, you bought that like that by yourself?
Yep. So we're not making an actual turkey, so I had to go to the store and buy a turkey neck. Turkey necks are very inexpensive. I got 2 huge turkey necks for about $4, so you can't beat that in price. So we got our turkey necks in there. Let's put all of that stock in there.
So now, you want to use this stock to put it in?
When I think about
dump it all, you want to pour it all in?
Pour it all in there.
Ooh, those don't look appealing. I hope they taste better than they look. Okay.
Yeah. So now, what what a lot of the mothers would do. And I don't know why I always refer to the mothers when I'm cooking, but I remember, you know, back in the day, it was always the moms in the kitchen cooking. You know, my grandfather and my uncles were in the kitchen a lot though. But,
it's coming out.
you know, so they would take that neck and they'll pick all of that meat off of there and they would put that inside of the gravy, or they would put that inside of the turkey stuffing as well. Okay. So I want my chickens, this is turkey stock, but I want my stock with a lot of flavor because I'm going to use it for a lot of different things. So I want it concentrated. If I take some out, I can add some more water to it and keep it going. So I'm going to put, even though we had chicken broth in there, we used the low sodium one. We put the meat in there. That's going to give it flavor. Now
what we got? Now
we have some seasoning salt, and this is a half a teaspoon of each. So we have seasoning salt, onion powder, garlic salt, black pepper, and we have a Knorr chicken bouillon cube here as well. You could use there's a whole lot of different type of chicken bases you could use, but this little cube works real well and it's very affordable. You don't have to go buy all those expensive ones because we're using chicken broth and we're using real meat, so we're going to get a lot of rich flavor out of there. Okay. So we put all of that in. The other thing I like to add is the Knorr soup pack. So this is about a half a pack.
I was going to ask you what that was. What flavor is that?
This is the vegetable flavor. Okay. And you can put that in anything. That helps give it a good flavor.
You said the Knorr soup pack?
That's the Knorr soup pack. K-N-O-R-R, I believe, Knorr. And usually people will put some different dry herbs in there. I like to use the fresh herbs. So this is a pack that they have at ShopRite. You'll see it's all organic herbs. It's sage, rosemary, and thyme.
Yes, it got all three. Normally, I'm used to just buying the one single ones, but this one has everything in it. The sage, the thyme, and the...
Yeah, it's called the Poultry herb. So it's prepared basically if you were making something like this.
You put that whole thing in there?
Boom, put it all in there. We want a lot of flavor. We want a lot of flavor so that we can keep adding to it. Yeah. Now,
you want me to spread that around a little bit?
It's gonna boil, so it's good.
You got it all.
And we're gonna put some carrots in there. Now, I also will say, you can keep everything when you're making stock. If you're cutting up onion, celery, all of that, you can put a lot of that in there. But because we're using it for dressing and there's already onions and celery going to be in the dressing mix, we don't have to add all of that to this particular stock. Okay. All right. So once you get that on, you can let that go all day long. If that makes you feel good.
Look how it's just sitting.
So when we put this on, we're going to
break apart?
We're going to bring it to a boil. Once we bring it to a boil, mix it up. It's going to start to spread on its own.
Yeah, like spread it around so get flavor all through there.
Okay, if that makes you feel good.
Because it just was balled and tangled up in one spot.
Yeah, it'll spread out though. It'll spread, it'll expand.
It looks pretty.
It looks good, but more importantly, it's going to taste good. It's going to pack a lot of flavor. A lot of the liquid in there is going to reduce, so you can add more water to it. You can keep this going for a while.
Okay. So do we put any more spices in there, or we don't? We got onions and peppers over here.
No, none of that goes in here. Let's leave that pot here and give everybody an idea of what we got going on here. So
you want to put this one on the stove and let this go?
Not yet. Here's the stock that we cooked earlier, so you can see that meat is all the way done now. The carrots have reduced. You can take those carrots out of there and eat it. You can keep this stock and make a good soup with it. Let's taste it.
What, taste the stock?
Yeah, I want you to taste the stock. So I used this stock earlier. Of course, I wanted to make some cornbread so we could have a finished cornbread dressing, so we could have a finished product. So we had made some earlier. I took that same stock, and after I took out 2.5 cups of water to make the stuffing, or 2.5 cups of stock, I added 2.5 cups of water back in here. So I don't even know how this tastes. Let's see how it tastes.
Let's see. It's not too much because it's hot here.
It is hot here. It's pretty good.
It's good. It's good. All the flavors combined come together well.
Let's see what it tastes like. I'll rinse the spoon.
All of them taste
excellent.
Good. So let's put this on the stove.
So we put them both back on the stove.
Okay. I'm gonna turn the heat on this one.
Definitely. Let's put it on. You can bring it up to a boil and then let it simmer.
Okay.
Great. Cover it.
Right.
Okay, so now that we have the stock going, the stock can go for a few hours. You could put that in a crock pot, go to work, anything, you know, just let it cook and get all the flavoring. Now we'll put together some cornbread really quickly. Okay. So this cornbread recipe is real similar to the one we made with the cornbread skillet, cornbread chili skillet.
So what you get ready to put in there now?
So now I'm gonna put a cup of cornmeal, a cup of flour.
Okay. 1 cup of cornmeal, 1 cup of flour. Do we gotta sift this?
No. A tablespoon of baking powder.
Okay.
A teaspoon and a half of kosher salt. 3 tablespoons of sugar. Alright, so we can mix the dry ingredients up so they're well incorporated. And then now let's do our wet ingredients.
Okay. So now we have eggs.
Alright, so we got 2 eggs here.
Okay. 2 eggs. You think professional, huh?
2 eggs.
Professional egg cracker.
Here we go. Let's
Okay.
twist it just a little bit, not too much.
Okay,
So
so we got 2 eggs, and then we got 1 milk.
yeah, a cup of milk.
So we gotta, we gotta mix that in there.
Yep, not too much though. Cup of milk. 1/4 cup of oil. Vegetable
Okay.
oil. And lightly mix it.
Okay.
Alright.
Now
Now we just put that right in the center of our dry mix.
okay.
You want to mix it one
Sure.
direction.
So this is all mixed. Now
So
yeah.
I'm gonna put it in a tin pan because I'm gonna take it out. I'm not serving it in this. I'm gonna put it in a tin pan and bake it. And once
You gonna put all this in there?
I'm gonna put all of that in there.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
So I'm gonna bake that,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna just take it out and crumble it up.
Okay.
Let me have that. All right.
Okay. So just pour it in there.
Yep, just pour it all in. I had a spatula around here. I lost it.
The long one.
Yeah, the gray one. Did I put it? Oh, it's
Oh,
right
it's
next
right
to
here.
it. Yep, got it.
Alrighty.
Okay, that looks good.
Alrighty.
So let's get rid of that.
So we're gonna pop this in the oven for how long?
We're gonna pop this in the oven until it's done, until it's golden brown. It's probably gonna take about 30 minutes. You can let it cook a little bit longer than you normally would because you're not worried about it being dry or anything because you're gonna be adding liquid to it anyway.
Okay.
We had a couple comments.
Okay, we got a couple comments. What we got?
We had, Lucy says, I can't wait till the Christmas episode. I hope James sings Nat King Cole.
Oh no.
So let's talk about what we're gonna put in there real quick.
Okay.
So when we're preparing our dressing, you know, to add more flavor to it and things like that, you're gonna put, I guess in New Orleans they call that the triple crown. We're gonna put onion,
Crown.
yep, onions, celery, and peppers. I usually like to use red peppers or something like that to give a little bit more, a little bit more festive colors. I had a yellow pepper, so that's what I'm using
But
this time.
so how much of this did you?
So I have a cup of peppers, 1 cup of onions,
Wait,
and
did you
1
say
cup.
a couple or a cup?
A cup. A cup of 1 cup of peppers,
Okay.
1 cup of celery, and 1 cup of onion.
Okay.
I'm gonna put, let me get this spatula. I'm gonna put 4 tablespoons, which is a half a stick of butter in the pan first.
Okay. And then you want to bring the onions and peppers over?
And then you can dump all the onions and peppers in there. No, I'll use a regular one.
Or,
I'll get you one. I got you. A wooden spoon right here. So you
Okay.
can put them all in.
I don't know what I like about onions and peppers together. Like it just,
That's
don't know,
why they
it
call
does-
it the triple crown. It's
it
the
just-
basis
it
for a
is-
lot of
it
foods.
smells good and it looks good too. Like it just, I don't know.
I'll take that from
If you want to saute these up,
you. Yep, so let them saute for a little bit till they start to get a little bit translucent. And then we're going to add, I like to add my turkey right in. Some people cook it separately.
the
But
turkey.
we have some turkey sage sausage.
Okay.
So you can make this with any type of sausage you like. You can use any type of meat you like, rather. So you can use pork sage sausage. You can use Italian sausage. You can, don't worry about it.
Popping stuff.
You can use pork or turkey.
Okay.
They both taste good. So this time we're gonna make it with turkey sage sausage.
Okay. Yeah, because a lot of people don't eat pork nowadays. So we have different varieties. Some don't eat beef, turkey, so we gotta.
So during the holidays, I like to not just go to our local supermarket. I like to go over to the Italian market. This comes from Capuccio's.
Show what it look like.
Yeah. So
Where does this come from?
this came from Capuccio's in the Italian market. If you ever saw Rocky and you see him running through the all the stores and there's like vendors on the street, that's the Italian market over in 9th and Washington and Philly. I got this from Capuccio's. Now this was in casing because we're not already at Thanksgiving yet. If we weren't exactly during Thanksgiving time, they'll have a whole bunch of this and it would be loose and you just buy it by the pound.
So we just dump this right in here?
Just dump it right in there.
Do we gotta crush it up? Like.
Once you get it in there, you can break it up really good.
Okay.
So the pork sage sausage, all year long, they have that loose. But this turkey sage sausage, they don't have it loose until Thanksgiving.
Okay, so we gotta break this up.
As you can see, a lot of the fat that's rendering out of the sausage, that's all going to be flavored. Okay, so now you getting all of that flavor in there. I think it's time to start to add some of our spices.
Okay. So, are you putting the same spices in here as you did the stock?
No.
Okay.
On this, we're going to add garlic powder.
Let them see the stock.
They can see it. All right, we have garlic powder, we have sage, we have poultry seasoning, and black powder. Black pepper. That's black powder. Black pepper.
Okay.
All right, there you go. So let's get that well incorporated in.
Looks good. Looking good.
Yeah. So you could break that up a little bit more.
Okay.
That's fine. All right, so that's good. Let's get that to the side and let that cool down.
Okay.
So now you got to start to get ready to mix this. So let's start with the cornbread.
You want to just break it up?
Yep, put it in there, crumble it up.
Okay.
Put it down in the bowl so it don't go on the floor, yeah.
Okay.
All right, that looks good.
So now we're just mixing this in?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. On the other side of it.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that looks good.
It smells good too.
Yes. So we got the crumble cornbread. You want me to go ahead and mix this?
Mix that together and add.
It's still some big pieces in here.
That's okay. That's
Okay.
All right, so now let's add the craisins too.
Oh, craisins. They give it that sweet. Oh, you didn't tell us you was adding craisins. I love craisins. Okay. Right. Now mix that together.
Mix it together.
Okay. Now this is, I guess, after the cornbread and everything
good,
is pretty much done. It does look good.
I'm
See,
gonna.
this is not wet.
The other half a stick of butter, I'm gonna melt that so we can pour it in there.
Okay. So we just keep. This smells so good.
We're gonna put some broth and then we're gonna taste it.
Okay.
We're gonna see if we need any more seasoning.
Now the broth ain't gonna make it too wet, right?
Right, so we're gonna add it a little bit at a time to make sure that we don't
Yes, please.
over wet it.
I don't want to do no wet bread. Nope.
Keep mixing it real good.
Oh yeah, because I got a big piece in here.
I'm gonna put 1 cup in there.
1 cup in here, and then you want me to stir it?
Yes.
Okay.
So this was our broth. Remember we had the broth earlier? What I did was I strained it. So I used the strainer. So our broth is all pretty much liquid. Okay.
You use the strainer? Okay,
Yeah.
so, okay.
What's wrong?
Go ahead. No,
Okay.
we got more some. Okay.
Alright, so that's 1 cup.
So stir that.
Stir that in.
Oh yeah. But I guess the broth brings it a little close together.
Yeah, definitely. And we're gonna add some eggs.
In here?
Yes, we're gonna add eggs in there too. That's gonna help it bond together. Alright?
Alright, I think. Oh. Okay, I think
Let's mix it in.
So that was 1 cup and then you just poured how much more in there?
I'll put about another half a cup.
Okay, I think that's gonna do it.
Alright. And
What the burner?
alright. We're gonna taste it to make sure we don't need any more salt or anything. Did you mix it up real good?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sure. You gotta taste it. You cooking it. See how you like it. I'll get another one.
That's good. If you want to think,
Alright, no salt or anything like that?
No, I'm not a salt person.
I lightly mix my egg, so now I'm going to add.
That's real good. Wait, can I get another piece before you?
Nope.
Go ahead, put it in.
Alright, now mix it up real good.
Oh, now this is, yeah. Alright. Let me find out you a chef, Mr. Roberts. Let me find out.
So you can do a lot with this. It doesn't have to just be Thanksgiving to make it, but when you add all of that sage and poultry seasoning, it gives it that more Thanksgiving flavor. And it doesn't taste like, you know, no offense to stovetop, but it doesn't taste like stovetop.
Yeah, I don't like stovetop. That's just nothing but wet bread.
Now I would have liked
See,
this a
back in the
little
day-
bit more wet, and don't forget it's going in the oven, but just to make you happy, I'm not gonna put too much.
Okay, so we just spread that out and put that in there for how long?
So this goes in there for about 50 minutes. That's the other reason why you don't want it too dry, because it's gonna be in there for a while.
Okay.
All right, so that looks pretty good.
You said leave it in there for 50 minutes?
Yep, about 50 minutes.
Okay.
Let me grab a plate.
We're gonna bring this over here. This is the finished one.
All right.
Oh, what we got here. Now that don't look wet at all.
All right, so this one's been in for about 50 minutes, but once you take it out, you do want to let it sit for about 30 minutes or so. You know, before you serve it, you want it to cool off a little bit. You want the flavors to incorporate well. And we want to try this, but it's really hot, so we're going to do a quick little gravy to put on top. 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour.
Okay.
So we want the butter to melt, and we want the flour to mix in with the butter. And then that's going to get rid of that floury taste once it cooks for a little bit. Now this is what you would call roux. This is a good base for a lot of different things, but especially your for gravy. Now if you were making a dark brown gravy like with a beef stock, you would also let this cook a little bit longer. So it depends on, you know, how dark you want your gravy.
Okay.
So you see how smooth that is? Now, you don't never have to worry about lumps in there.
Cool. All right, so when do we pour the stock in there?
You gotta let this cook a little bit. Almost like a peanut butter color. So, I don't know if you remember a couple times we made like shrimp etouffee and things like that. That was the same thing.
All right. So just let that simmer down.
So now you see that peanut butter color? I left it alone for a second. Now we can add our stock.
Oh. Okay.
No lumps in the gravy.
Yeah. Learned something new today. Interesting.
So that's why you let that stock cook for a long time, so you can have a whole bunch of stock left to do that.
Okay.
All right, let's see what it tastes like.
Oh.
I didn't even taste it. I already know it's good.
Let me find out. Okay. So now we're gonna taste this.
Yep.
Wait, babe, don't let it fly off the plate.
All right. Look how
Babe,
that
you
looks
ain't cut it?
inside. No, I'm just digging right in. All right, let's get this out of here.
Let me get a fork. And you gonna put you gonna turn the gravy off?
Yeah, I'm gonna put Gravy's fine.
Are you gonna put a little bit on here?
Yeah. And
Oh goodness.
all
All
right.
right, let's
I don't know what that means, but let's
cheers.
do it.
Wait, I want to taste a little bit around this side where it's not as wet.
Perfect. I wouldn't normally say that, but everything is spot on.
And it's not. Oh, thank God, it's not that. It's not wet.
It's very hot, but
Yeah, it's hot, but it's really, really good.
and the gravy is not overpowering. It's a perfect balance with it.
We're gonna let the birthday boy. Y'all say happy birthday to Turtle.
You can just stand over there. I got
You
you.
need a spoon right there.
No, I got him. I got him. I
We're
know
gonna let
you
the
want-
birthday boy do a taste test. He turned 20 today, y'all. These kids getting old and I'm getting young. It's going backwards.
All right.
I don't know. How it tastes.
It's hot.
Yeah, be careful because it's real hot.
I just went. I could drink that gravy. Oh my God.
Drink it.
I don't
Who says
drink
that?
The gravy is good.
You dropped some. Make your toes wiggle, don't it?
Just like Thanksgiving.
All right, that's it for our stuffing. We'll post all of the ingredients for you guys real soon. Again, don't try to stick to the ingredients because everybody taste buds is kind of geared to how you were raised. So if your mama or your mother made it a certain way, kind of lean on that. Whoever made it, that's what you want to lean on. Lean on that taste profile. Use this as a guide, kind of the steps for when you're making everything. We'll also put the instructions on how to make the gravy on there because I think that gravy is really good. We should package and sell that. But have fun with it. You can use that gravy on everything for Thanksgiving, your turkey and everything. And stay tuned because after Thanksgiving, we're going to have some fun with the leftovers. I'm thinking deep fried macaroni and cheese balls. I'm thinking some turkey gobblers, you know, some sandwiches, some egg rolls with all of the Thanksgiving stuff inside.
That sounds
So
good.
we're going to have some fun after Thanksgiving.
And I just wanted to point something out real quick. So we started out with just something simple with cornbread, and then we added, you know, the sage sausage. We added the peppers, the onions, and you just look at how something simple can turn into something so just extravagant and delicious. And that's what God does for us. He takes the life that we think is so simple, and He adds His word. He adds His power. He adds His anointing, and our life turns into something that is so extravagant. So we want to always just look at what God can do in our lives and how He does it. And even though it seems like it's, you know, so grandiose, it's a simple thing for God to do. So we thank you all. Have a blessed night.
Have a blessed night.
See
Thank
y'all
you
soon.
once again.
Bye.